I think of those stories. I remember, I don't know if it was in your book or in Jim Norton's book, I read about you guys getting arrested.
Oh yeah, it was Norton and I.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Oh yeah, well that's the one. It's it was the naked party bus. I can't remember what they called it. God damn it, there was a name for it. And we were doing Opie and Anthony.
Oh right.
Jim was starting to become part of that group, but hadn't reached that, hadn't been brought on, right, as a regular. I was on there at least once every 10 days.
Yeah, wow.
And it was great. And they were on in the afternoons, and I was really comfortable, and Anthony and I would just scream at each other.
Yeah.
It was just great. He was so full of shit. And he thought I was so full of shit. And we just bellow at each other, and there was and it's this whole thing of now we live in a great divide. He and I were on a great divide, but neither of us took it seriously.
Right.
Both of us knew that we were that we're full of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm yelling at him, he's yelling at me. Then they say we got a bus coming today, and there's going to be these girls are supposed to be these girls are going to be naked on the bus. Mm-hmm. And did Jim and I want to go on the bus? Well, you fucking yeah. And it never crossed my mind if they go teenage, and this still is not registering until later but we get on the bus, and the Boyer bus, they called it. That was it.
There you go.
It was called the Boyer bus, and the deal was they were driving around the country, and there was one girl who was in it at that point. I think there may have been two of them, but one at that who had come to New York. And they drove around. The whole idea is you drove around a city in order to express our First Amendment rights.
Oh, hey,
that's
good
really,
on you, sister.
Yeah, really, isn't that like something you think? The first thing you think of is take naked girls around, and that's our First Amendment.
Now, are they attractive? Because sometimes these First Amendment gals can be a little rough around the edges.
No, I know what you're thinking, but no.
Oh, great.
No, it was really, but it's also
Best way to express your freedom of speech, I think, is tits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the same. I said at the time that we were doing it, it's like saying, you don't yell fire in a theater. It's like saying the equivalent of saying, well, don't yell fuck you in a theater.
Right.
That's, I mean, come on, guys, the First Amendment, just say it for what it is. Whatever it is that you're trying to sell, let's go sell it. And thank you for inviting me on the bus.
Yes. Yeah. Now, did DeSantis send this bus up here?
This was back when things were fun.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Remember when this was not a political statement?
Oh, my God, I know.
These breasts are making no statement whatsoever except to the delight of Norton and me, and there was another producer. And along the way, we picked up a friend of mine who was the artistic director of a theater that I did a lot of work at in the summers. I said, he was married, and I said, I think you're going to want to do this.
Yeah.
And so he hopped on the bus.
You're his wife's least favorite friend.
Yeah, and here's a big one. It's you know who Kate Burton is?
I don't know.
You don't? Really?
No.
Wow, that's great. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell her. It's Richard Burton's daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's a really fine actress. It's her husband.
Isn't his son an actor too?
Yes, he's. But she's the one, and
well, who's Richard Burton's son? Because he's also famous, isn't he?
Rich, I don't know. I know her, but what I really know, and I know her husband really well, so I got him on the bus. Now we're driving around, and it's just before Christmas, okay? So we're driving all over. We're coming right down fucking, right down 9th Avenue, right down fucking 9th. Coming from we were on 56th Street. We spin out of there, come down, and we move through the city like a bat out of hell.
Oh, yeah.
And these girls are standing there, and then we would roll up, and we'd be sitting there. These guys would be looking up, and these girls are standing there kind of doing a little bit of a dance and going, yeah, that's right, go fuck yourselves, you pieces of shit. So that's what they're saying. The whole thing was just magnificent to watch. Of course. Because they're getting back at them. They think they're getting the show. And meanwhile, what's extraordinary is these old ladies who were the ones you think, thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're like, couldn't be happier. Nobody bothered. It's Christmas, you fucking idiots. Everybody is happy. Here comes a bus filled with tits.
Yes.
Who could complain? So we go all the way around. Now we've gotten around at fucking 4 o'clock, 3:34, 4:30. So we're getting into rush hour, and we're moving like a bat out of hell, and we get through the city in 40 minutes.
Wow. Well, you get out of the way for tits.
You got
the lanes open up.
And the cops who would listen to Opie and Anthony, because the cops weren't stupid, were always on top of the fact that if they were going to do something idiotic, they need to kind of have to deal with it.
Right.
So that they knew they had to help us get through, and they did. And there was no sense of traffic being fucked up. Spectacular.
Yeah.
We're 3 blocks from the studio. Mm-hmm. We dropped my friend off. He's so fucking lucky he got out of that fucking... He gets off. We drive 3 more blocks. We're 3 blocks away from where we have to be. And the cops stop us and basically take us off the bus. They put us in those fucked up handcuffs, those plastic handcuffs. The zip ties. And they took all of us, including the girls, everybody.
Really?
Everybody got off the bus and it's because at that point, Rudy Giuliani was the mayor of New York, and he was going to be sure. He said that we were disturbing. There it is. It's my friend. And he said we were going to be disturbing the peace.
Oh, wow. Come on.
And it was like, fuck you. And it was also, it was like, it's always amazing how this shit that's the most honest thing you can say is funny. So why did they also take us off the street? Because within an hour and a half later, an hour and a half max, I mean, probably, he was coming through was Bill Clinton, who was the president at that point.
Sure.
So he's coming through. So we're basically being busted. He's gotten a blowjob. We're getting busted for being on this bus.
Yeah.
And we're not breaking the law because why? In New York City, women can be topless.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was madness.
What Bill Clinton did was worse.
Yes.
Yes.
Getting your dick sucked by your employee in the Oval Office is worse than a titty bus in Midtown.
Yeah.
Right?
It is. It would seem to me. It would seem to me he should have waited a lot longer to get by, or they should have told him the bus was coming through. Would you like to join us? It was really something. I mean, it was one of those things. And then they took us, and we were in jail for a day and a half.
Wow, a day and a half?
Yeah. Well, they took us in. Yeah. They took us in that night. That
spent the
afternoon.
night in jail. Is there a mugshot?
We had a gig. No, not that I remember. There was no mugshots because we didn't even get that far. We went in. We stayed there, and then Jim would remember. And then I can't remember. The next day, we had to be tried by a certain time, and if we weren't, that we'd be there the whole weekend. So this was like a Thursday, I think, when we got caught. We go in there in the evening, and then they put us into Gen Pop, which is like general population. So now we're sitting in there, Jim and I, and Jim at that time, as much as Jim would talk a good ball game, or I could certainly go fuck yourself pretty easily. We're like going, this has gone too far. And then I'm going, I think maybe I said, did anybody card those girls? Did anybody card the girls? Did anybody card the girls? That's all we need, Jim.
Yeah.
That's it. We're gonna get busted for this. Now we're gonna get busted for being on a bus with topless girls. God damn it! And they're underage. We're fucked.
Oh no!
So that's all.
You're next to Jeffrey Epstein in the cell. He's like, I got their age. I think they're good. Yeah.
And to boot, I was in Jeffrey Epstein's house once.
What?
Really?
Yes, with Bobby Slayton. I've got nothing. Yeah, this is
when they got up to go to the bathroom. Did he smell the seat?
No.
How was Jeffrey Epstein's house?
Unbelievable.
I mean, but what was the occasion?
Bobby Slayton, Woody Allen, and Sun Yi.
Oh my God!
Oh, this is like a Mad Libs.
Exactly.
Holy moly!
It is. That's a very good one. That's nice, man. There was Dick Cavett.
Wow.
And I can't think of his name. I can see him.
Harvey.
No.
Epstein, not a good guy, but he throws a hell of a dinner party.
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean, these are some good guests.
Good guess.
But it was, and then there was one other comic, and I can't remember if he's passed away.
Greg,
and it's another one.
Patrice, Louis Anderson,
No,
Norm, Bob, Saget, Gilbert.
No, it's nobody will reach.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one further back. He was. I know everybody's married.
Not Richard Jenney.
No.
Freddie Roman, Alan King.
Gary, no. We could play. It sounds like.
Okay.
So
I
what's
think
going
it
on
began
with
with a
dinner?
G. And he was. I can tell you this. He was married to Ty Babylonia.
All right, that's all you need. Ty
Yeah.
Babylonia's husband.
And I can't think of who.
How do you get invited to Epstein's?
If fucking Slayton called me up and said, he really likes comics.
Randy Gardner. No, that's a figure skater.
That's the no.
All right.
no.
Blind Boy Tano.
Tanya Harding.
What?
He was a middle act.
So what's the occasion for this?
It was that Bobby had gotten this. He had invited a bunch of, Epstein was like, let's go, let's get a bunch of hoo-has together. I mean,
Sure.
if you looked at the list of people he hung out with, so he liked Bobby's work, and then he said he wanted to meet me apparently, but Bobby goes, he's got really unbelievable wine. We're going to
Okay.
drink really. I said, okay, fuck it. Now I know nothing about him. It's David Brenner.
David
Oh,
Brenner.
yeah. Okay.
David
The
was
legend.
there,
Wow.
and he was really funny.
So
it was
funny
a
to go
fun.
to Epstein's place for wine.
Huh? Yeah. So it was. He
How old
said-
is bottle? 16 years?
So I'm there. Nothing is. This is years ago. This is this is like 7 years before the shit hits the fan.
Oh, yeah.
And we're there, and it was just kind of wild. And then the capper of the evening is at the very end. David Blaine shows up.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Can you make these charges disappear?
So he that was our night. I'll tell you, there were young girls flitting about, but I didn't know. Having not figured out anything on the Boyer bus about age, I had no idea. I didn't know how old or young they were.
Sure.
And there was a woman who was an older woman who was really, really attractive, and I thought she. I thought she was the one.
Yeah.
That was Epstein's, girlfriend. That's
Right.
what I thought. And it was the kind of thing you go into when we got here. It's weird from the beginning because it's like you go in and he's got a whiteboard and there's all of this stuff drawn on it, and he goes, "You want me to tell you what that is?" And I go, "Yeah, well, sure." Bobby and I. He goes, I had the Israeli defense minister here last night for dinner, and then he's got me and Bobby Slayton. I mean, what kind of a fucking, are you shitting me? And then he said, and so we were talking about, he was showing me what kind of defense systems Israel would use in case of attack.
Wow.
And I thought, what? First up, what is the Israeli defense minister? What the fuck is the matter? Why would you tell me this is already, now it's weird.
Yes.
Nothing else is weird, but I know this was like a honk, something is wrong in this house.
Sure.
This is a guy who's working on his defense many years before.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
That's interesting. I mean, and his place was outstanding, right? I mean, it was just
Yeah, it was major.
gorgeous. Yeah.
You can see it. What is it, Upper West?
It's upper. No, it's between Madison and Fifth
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
in the
Yeah.
'60s, and it kind of is like a big, it was a big, and it didn't have a lot of furniture in it. It was very bare, but it was,
Yeah.
but it was done well.
Yes.
and the wine was stupidly expensive, and
Yeah.
it was.
Was it
but
great wine?
It was really great wine.
Can you tell when you're like having? I can't really tell.
But I can because
get
it's just another way to hide your alcoholism.
Right.
As if you can go, boy, now I can I have a sense now of what's good.
Yes. I'm a connoisseur, not an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they were in Kentucky all week, and they're like so proud that they're like these bourbon sommeliers. But I'm like, you're still a good job. You can tell that they're caramel notes. You're still
Right.
wrapping your car around a fucking pole. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Heroin addicts know when it's pure shit. You know, versus.
but it was really And we got invited back again.
Ah.
And Bobby said, "You want to go?" I said, "I ain't going to that house again."
Oh, really?
Smart.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't care how good the wine is. I said, something is fucked up in there, and I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Not going Bobby
But it was
Slayton's
one of
voice
those things,
reason.
too. You know this thing. It's that thing where somebody wants to hang out with you,
Yeah.
and they may be able to give you something.
Right.
But you go, I don't want it.
It feels weird. Then you're indebted to them.
Yeah.
Who knows what.
Bobby's like, we're getting massages. What did you know Woody Allen well? I mean, I remember you were in Hannah and Her Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
that's
great
right.
movie.
Great movie.
It is. It turned his career around.
One of his
Really?
best, I think.
I agree. Top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Turned his
Was
career
that
around.
what was that like
It
to be?
was. I kept saying, I think it's the first movie he made money off of. And I said, and I'm the only person in it who really brought it over the top. It was. I had a good time working with him. I mean, I really. Here's something. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done a movie, but here's a smart thing he taught us. It was me and a guy named Christian Clemens who did a bunch of television afterwards and films, and we were doing our first scene. It's the first scene I've ever done in a movie.
Uh-huh.
And
You must have been shitting bricks. I mean, this is
Yeah,
terrifying. Woody Allen. This is your opening movie.
Yeah, it was. I was, and it was really, and I kind of could fuck with him because I've been in theater, so I knew his work in terms of theater and stuff because he'd been, so I could fuck with him on that level. I said, because there's all this shit on there, and then we're going to go do this scene, and we shot the first scene. We shot it. We said we're going to rehearse, and we did it. And we got back in, and there had been a bunch of fuck ups, and I said, "Oh, I guess this is, you wanted to do this instead of theater."
Yeah.
Huh? And he didn't really laugh, but I thought, okay, well, at least I gave it a shot. and then he said, okay, we're going to rehearse it again. And then we said, we got one more, and we'll get the cameras right. We did it again, and once we did it again, he said that we got it, and let's move on. He said, I want you to think of everything that we're doing is a rehearsal.
Oh, interesting. Keep you loose.
It was, and that was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you realized, oh, fuck. I didn't think about it. I didn't worry about
Right.
it. And I still, to this day, I will try to use that, but they go, roll them, and you still tighten up.
That's good.
But it really is one of the few lessons I had in my life in terms of just basically dealing with a camera, that in terms of film, because sometimes you're on it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. If you don't think of it as like something that's got to be done, and just think of it as we're just doing it.
Yeah, that's good. Your Woody Allen joke was too soon, ye.
Oh, wow.
He's not a guy you seem like you can really. You don't picture like
No.
the roast of Woody Allen.
Yeah.
You're roasting David Hasselhoff. You're not roasting Woody.
But what's funny was how that he's when outside of that set, he doesn't seem to be. He's more introverted on the set.
Oh, yeah.
On the set, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when he is that guy, and he's a very good director, and the kids were around.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I'm the one that goes, that was the weird thing is I didn't notice anything. The kids seemed to be, what do I know?
Yeah, yeah.
People, Jacques Hughes, you worked with him, you son of a bitch. Well,
Oh,
what the fuck was
jeez.
what are you fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, what was that, 92 or something?
Yeah, and I still, I could go through the whole history of it, and we'll do that on the next one. when you bring me back for Woody Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Epstein Part 3, and whatever did happen at the inside the jail. What was interesting, though, to get back to that was after they took Norton and I, we went in once we got to the fucking, because we had to be out of there.
Yeah.
Now it's like 8:00, and they've got till like 8:30 or something, and they're bringing the first group, and the judge goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, basically, it was a female judge who said, "You've got to be kidding me." She said, "Of all the things going on in New York City, at this point in time, just before Christmas, that you are really going to tell me that you want me to try these people?"
All right.
And keep them in jail. What is the matter with you? What planet are you on? Nothing bad happened. It was fine, and they got through in a half. And
Here.
and they
That's a
got through
cool
the first
person
four,
right there.
the next four, and the next four. We all were like, we were out of there. And when we got up, it was like, stop.
Yeah.
Just really go. Get out of here.
Damn.
Man, it's a different time, because just think about being on that bus now. Everybody would have phones out, and all this would be recorded, and then even the jail stuff. You're like, I got to get content at the trial.
They
you
take
know?
your phone. And
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's just a better time when you could just live.
Yeah.
Now everything is recorded and filmed.
There's much more freedom for sure.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I mean, it was really, and it was funny, and it was just silly, and it was goofy. And then they tried to get us, and it's like, you know, you're talking to Norton and I were paranoid enough that you've got internal affairs there who are trying to bust the cops who have become, now, have become, because of that fucking show, all the cops know who I am.
Oh, great.
So it was like, these are people, you don't fuck with my friends, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And what are you kidding me? You're going to come here and investigate the cops who got all these people through.
Yeah.
All they did was do their job properly, and you're seeing it as a crime. Fuck you.
Here, here. That's one thing I'll say about cops. They love comedy. I got my moped stolen recently, and they found it, and I went to go pick it up, and they were like, we've heard you. Are you on Opie now? Are you on this and that? I was like, yeah. And they were all going nuts. It was great.
Yeah, no, it is. It makes it. They listen to it.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
they're great.
Yeah, they need a laugh.
Yeah,
With that
a lot more now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.